Hello everyone, good evening. I'll be on in a few seconds. I'll let everybody chime in. There we go. I can see you guys. Good evening. Okay, we're going to get started. So tonight is my Design with Debbie class. Hi Rhonda, hi Wendy, hi Regina, hi Corrine. I think I missed a few of you guys because I couldn't get on my iPad, but I'm on now. So tonight we're going to create a birthday card. I said that wrong. I was looking at my screen and I saw the word birthday. Tonight we're going to create a baby card. It has lots of layers. We have some embossing and we're using the Stampin Blends to color. So the stamp set I'm using tonight is Fastened With Love. It's got a lot of cute little images you can put on the baby bib and lots of different sentiments. So that's what we're using tonight. Let me bring out all of the cardstock layers. So Daffodil Delight 11 by 4 1/4, Bermuda Bay 5 1/4 by 4, Whisper White 3 1/4 by 4 1/2, and then we need a scrap white and a scrap petal pink to cut out with the dies. And for the dies, I'm using the layering circles, and this is the scallop, which measures 2 3/4 inches wide. And then the circle is the stitch shape dies, which measures 2 3/8. So the first thing I'm going to do, just to get the big shot out of the way, we just need to cut these two shapes. And then we're going to emboss. So if you guys are stamping with me, dig out your cutting machine or your Big Shot machine. Now the embossing folder I'm using is the Tufted. Just going to insert that inside. This is one of the thicker ones, so we just need one clear plate. Oh, Maggie, she says, I love monkeys, so I have to get this set. You probably didn't notice there's a little tiny monkey there. It's so cute. I'm using the little bear next to it. Okay, so that's the embossing. Isn't that pretty? And you could also use the second side. Both sides come out really nice. Now, let me switch my clear plates. This time I'm using the magnetic plate. I'm going to cut out one of the scallop. Hello everyone that's just coming on. I'm so glad you're here. And then I'm going to use the white to cut out the stitch circle. And then I can move my Big Shot out of the way. Okay, and there's my circle, and you can see that there's stitching around it. Okay, we now have all of the pieces needed. Now, I need to also show you guys that are just watching. I'm using Stampin Blends tonight. Let me bring all my colors in. I am using one set that's retired only because I don't have the new ones yet. This is the pink pirouette. This is the one that's retired. Bermuda Bay, and I've got the light and the dark for both all colors. Crumb Cake. Daffodil Delight. This is the Ivory, which would be your skin tone. And we all need a color lifter because we are all not perfect, and sometimes we make little mistakes and we need to erase our errors. So that's what that's for. Let me bring the card back in for those of you that missed it. So the first thing I'm going to do is stamp the background. Now I'm going to show you a quick way to line up your letters. So I've got the A, B, and C. What I did is use the dark line on my grid, and I'm lining up, facing down, The bottom of the letter is on the grid. Same thing with the B, because we want to make sure they're straight, and we want to make sure that the spacing in between is going to be the same. Now that looks about right. So they're all lined up on that dark line, and then I'm just going to take my clear block, and they're all lined up. So easy. Now let me bring in a scrap. The ink that I'm using tonight is Memento Black. And all I'm going to do is stamp at different angles. Just to fill in the background. So you'll see that I have some partial letters, and that's okay. And that's all I'm going to do for that. Isn't that cute how it just fills in the background? Now let me put this away just so I don't make a mess. Now we're going to color. Now what I did on my card, I did all of the A's the same color, the B's and the C's. So the A's, I started out with the dark pink pirouette, and I'm going to go almost halfway. And this is with the darker marker. Now I'm going to bring the lighter one in. I'm going to color that in. I'm going to blend where they meet. I don't know if you guys can see the difference in color where the light and the dark is at the bottom. The light is at the top. But you always just keep coloring where they meet and that line disappears. Okay, that's for the A. Now the B is going to be with the Daffodil Delight. Same thing, I'm going to go about halfway. So this makes for a quick background. And if you don't have the blends yet, you could always use the regular markers, the Stampin' Right markers. Bringing in the light. Now I'm going to make the line disappear. And hopefully you guys all know that the new blends colors are all available now. They became available a couple weeks ago. I haven't ordered them yet. I'm going to order them when I come back from Alaska. I had other things I needed to order first. Oh, I forgot one of my B's right there. Okay, now I'm using Bermuda Bay. Let's see. There's something going on with my video. What is it doing? Are you guys not able to see me well? I can't tell just by watching. Okay, now I gotta finish my B that I missed right here. And then I need to finish off the A up here. Okay, so that's it for my background. So you can see I use 6 different colors. Now, for those of you that are not familiar with the blends, I'm going to show you right here. I went over the line just a little bit. That's where the color lifter comes in. What you do is just keep coloring over that portion that went outside of the lines. This lightens it up and you'll see that that will disappear. and you fixed the little boo-boo. That easy. Oh, Lisa, no problem with the video? Okay, must be, that's my husband that was telling me this. It must be our internet. Okay, now I'm going to bring in the Daffodil Delight. Score at 5.5. And then we're going to fold that. Now I'm going to glue the Bermuda Bay with the embossing. This embossing folder has been quite popular since the annual catalog came out. I've sold quite a few of these. It's so pretty. Isn't it a pretty quilt? It looks like a quilt. Okay, now we're going to glue the background. That's going right in the center. And we've got our 2 circles. I hate to cover up what I just colored, but we're going to lose some of it. But there's still enough around there for it to peek out. Okay, now we got a little bit more coloring to do. I've got the bib. And then we've got the sentiment that goes inside the bib. And it says, "You are loved." And then we've got the little bear. So on the little bear, I'm going to use the ivory for his little smiley face. And then I've got the crumb cake. I'm just going to add the dark right at the bottom of his cheeks and the inside of the ears. Oh, and then the little bit of hair that he's got on top. Hi, Lori. Yes, she's saying I'm ambitious because we're leaving for Alaska. I had to squeeze in one more live video. I'm anxious to see you too. Okay, there's the little bear. I didn't want to interrupt my my weekly Wednesday class. Okay, now I'm going to color with the dark daffodil around the piping of the bib. Now this one's going to be, there's no dies to cut these out, so I am going to hand cut all of these. Now I want to add a little bit of shading, so what I'm going to do is go right in the corner of the bib and just do that. And then you'll see the line disappear once I start coloring. Don't you guys love that the blends don't leave any lines when you color like the markers do? I just love that. Okay, now we're going to color right here where the 2 colors meet and see how that line disappeared? It's all blended together. Okay, now we're going to cut these 2 pieces. Now I want to show you a little trick that I use. I need to cut, I don't want to leave some white in here. So I'm going to use a 1/4 inch handheld punch. I'm going to punch a hole right there. Let me put something darker so you can see. And that gives me a starting point to cut around all my other pieces or all my other images. It's so much easier than having to fight trying to get your scissors in there. But see how that hole is helping me? And I got one little tiny piece left. That's a trick that I use often when I have to cut inside something. You can use, if it's a little larger too, you can use a circle punch. Okay, now I'm going to cut around the bib. It seems like I've been fussy cutting a lot lately on my videos. And I know you guys said it's easier to watch somebody cut than doing it yourselves. So Dave and I are leaving early on Friday morning for Alaska. So you guys won't see me again doing a class or a video until August 1st. That's my next one that's scheduled. Okay, and I'm almost done cutting the little bear. Okay, now I'm going to bring in the mini dimensionals. And add one to the bear. The video is acting up. That's weird. It must be our internet connection. I hope you guys can still see everything. So I'm going to glue the bib at an angle. And then we're going to add the bear on top of the bib. So we've got, this is popped and the bib is popped. And lastly, I'm going to use the, what's the color on this? Powder pink shimmer ribbon. I hope you guys can see how shimmery this is. It's almost like it has its own little glitter. So all I'm going to do is create a bow. And I always like to pull my loops in to make them smaller and tighter. Just a little more. And I'm going to add a glue dot in the center. And then my liquid glue on each side of the glue dot. And that's going to go right here. And that's my card for tonight. I hope you guys like it. Don't you like that embossing on the Bermuda Bay? I love that embossing folder. So thanks for coming tonight. So I will see you guys again on August 1st. We should be back that Monday from our trip. So I will be posting to my Facebook page daily with some daily inspiration. So you guys will still see some projects. So have a good night, everyone. And thanks for dropping in. And I will see you in a few weeks. Good night.